To buy or to rent? That is the question. You know, working in the manufactured home industry, we often get this question a lot. Justin, is it better for us to buy or rent our manufactured home? And my answer is always the same. It depends. But if you're looking at it from a long-term point of view and from a financial point of view, it is always better to buy. So today's video, we're going to break down the top 5 reasons why it's always better to buy a manufactured home than it is to rent one. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? My name is Justin Ivey. I am a regional manufactured home specialist here in the Metro Detroit area and in the state of Michigan. I have literally helped hundreds of people buy, sell, and finance manufactured homes, and I love the opportunity to do the same for you. But in order to do that, I need to hear from you. So please, my contact information is in the description box below, and it's also right here. So please reach out to us so we can be of assistance to you. Also too, the comment box is also below as well. If you want to leave a comment about today's video, last week's video, the video before that, or even future videos that you'd like for us to cover, leave that in the comment box below. Also too, if you have some ideas or some things that we didn't cover today, or some things that we need to take into consideration, leave that in the comment box below and we'll add that into future videos moving forward. And finally, please like and subscribe our channel. Here in Manufactured Homes here in Michigan, we enjoy putting out great content on all things manufactured homes, and YouTube likes it too. So please like and subscribe our channel. Plus, it makes us feel good that you guys are consuming this great content. So let's go ahead and get into today's video on why the top 5 reasons it's better to buy a manufactured home than it is to rent one. Here we go. Reason number 1, pride of ownership and options. Now, what do you mean by that, Justin? Well, you look at owning a manufactured home instead of renting a manufactured home. Everyone knows that if you end up owning the home, you're going to take better care of the home. You have more of a financial responsibility to that home. Now, when you end up owning a manufactured home, you are going to go the extra mile to make sure that the necessary repairs are being made. You're going to make sure that the home is taken care of and clean, all those different things. Also, too, your creative juices are going to flow. So you're going to make little additions inside of the home to make it more homely, if you will. You're going to put in great floors. You're going to put in new wallpaper. You're going to paint the walls. You're going to put in granite countertops in the kitchen. You're going to put in a new stove, a new refrigerator, a new washer and dryer, and a host of different things. That is usually what happens when you own the home and there's a pride of ownership. Also, in addition to the things that you'll do inside of the home, you're going to be doing things on the exterior as well. You're going to make sure your siding is in order. You're going to make sure your skirting is in order. You're even going to make sure that the grass is cut around your home so it looks nice and appealing, not just to you, but to your neighbors as well. And that's a pride and responsibility that you don't take lightly when you own instead of rent. Now, when you own a manufactured home, let's say you got a mortgage on that home and you end up paying off said mortgage, now you have options. You have the option of just paying off your mortgage and living in a manufactured home community if that's where the home is, and you just make your regular lot payments, your $400, your $500, your $600, your $700, however much they charge in your particular community. Or if you have that home paid off, you also have the option of buying a piece of property and having your home moved to said property. Those are the things that happens when you have a pride of ownership, which ultimately ends up giving you options to determine what it is that you want to do with your manufactured home. So when we talk about pride of ownership, now when you own a home, you're going to take better care of the home. You're going to make sure that the necessary repairs and maintenance are done on the home. Your creative juices are going to be flowing. You're going to be putting in new floors, granite countertops, new washer, new dryer, new stove, new dishwasher, new tubs, all those different things that are required or that you do when you have a pride of ownership in a home. You're gonna do all those things to take care of that home. And when you go through all that trouble of owning the home, taking care of the home, updating the home, and ultimately, if you ended up getting a mortgage, paying off that home, now it gives you options. You can pay off that home and just stay in the community and have a very, very, very affordable living lifestyle in terms of just paying the lot rent. or you have the option of owning that home and buying a piece of property and then ultimately having your home moved to that piece of property. So that's reason number one, pride in ownership and options. Reason number two, cost efficiency. Now, like in my previous videos, you guys have heard me talk about cost efficiency. All that means is that you can get more home for less money. Here's an example. Here in the Metro Detroit area, it's not strange to see a single family home that is 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, costing anywhere in the range of $250,000 to as much as $350,000. Again, depends on where the home is. Now, when you're talking about manufactured homes in the same area, it's not strange. Also see a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home that's also 1,500 square feet and it's costing in the neighborhood of $35,000 to as much as $75,000 or $80,000. Again, depends on where you live. And that's a much more cost-efficient option. And honestly, that's something that's really needed, particularly not just in the state of Michigan, but across the United States in terms of real affordable housing options. So when we talk about cost efficiency, all I mean by that is you can get more home for less money. And that's very, very valuable when you're talking about a growing family or an individual that maybe does not want to stay in an apartment, or they can't stay in an apartment, and they definitely don't want to live with family, but they're not quite ready to buy a traditional single family home. Manufactured home statistically is a much more affordable option and a much more cost efficient option. So when we talk about cost efficiency, all I'm saying is that you can get more home for less money in regards to manufactured homes. So that's reason number two, cost efficiency. Reason number three, stability and predictability. Now, I'm gonna kind of break this down a little bit. And when I say stability and predictability, there's a few things that you have to take into consideration. Now, when I talk about stability and predictability, what I mean by stability is your home is in the same community wherever it is that you ended up purchasing that manufactured home. You're stable, you know your neighbors, you know your community, you know the people in the park office. That's a lot of stability that can bring a family or an individual comfort, especially when they're transitioning from an apartment complex or living with relatives or family and friends. But again, they're not ready to buy a traditional single family home. Having that stability of a manufactured home is critical and very, very much appreciated when you're in that in-between phase in regards to housing. Now, when we talk about predictability, now let's take a few things into consideration. When I talk about predictability, what I mean by that is if you ended up getting a mortgage on your manufactured home, you're gonna have a very predictable mortgage payment. It's never going to change. Your payment is always going to be that payment for as long as your mortgage is. Now, if your home is inside of a community, the lot rent inside of the community that you're paying is going to change. On average, here in the Metro Detroit area, the yearly increase of lot rent is anywhere between $25 to $30. There are a few places that can do 35 or 40, but that's kind of a rarity. On average, you're looking at anywhere between $20 to $35 or $25 to $35 when it talks about annual lot rent increases. So when I talk about stability, what I mean by that is when you have a family or individual that's transitioning from an apartment complex or transitioning from living with family and friends, but again, they're not ready to buy a traditional single family home, having that stability of a manufactured home in that community, you know your neighbors, you know everyone around you, you know people at the park offices, you know all the amenities are there. That's very, very appreciated and crucial in regards to your home buying journey. And when we talk about predictability, if you ended up getting a mortgage on that home, your payment is always the same. But if you live in the community, your lot rent is going to increase. And again, it's an average between $20 to $35 in regards to annual increases. Now, if you own the home and you move the home outside to a piece of property that you bought, that brings even more predictability from the standpoint of now that home is treated as traditional real estate and your mortgage payments are going to be the same as well. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about stability and predictability. Reason number three. Reason number four, customization and personal touch. Now, I kind of touched on this a little bit in our previous points. When it comes to owning a manufactured home, you're able to customize it however you want. If you want to put in new flooring, have at it. You want to put in a new garden tub or a new shower, have at it. If you want to paint the walls of color purple, have at it. It's your home. You have the ability to have customizations and personal touches to that particular home. If you want to add little additions to your manufactured home on the outside, maybe get that skirting that looks like brick, paint the siding, put up new siding. Again, it's your home. You can make those changes to that home. And when we talk about personal touches, I've seen a lot of personal touches. I've seen people put fire pits outside of their home. I've seen people add granite countertops around the cabinetry inside the kitchen. I've seen people do a lot of amazing things when it comes to manufactured homes in terms of customizations and personal touches. Now, when you're renting, you can't do any of that because it's technically not your home. You're just renting the space for an agreed period of time. So you don't have those options, and those options are not usually available to you. So when we talk about customizations and personal touches, again, if you want to change the wall color, the flooring, the things in the kitchen, put in new equipment, put in new options in the kitchen in terms of refrigerators and stove, dishwasher, any amount of those things, you can do that, and you can add your personal touch on the outside of the home as well because it's your home. But when we're talking about renting, you can't do any of that because you don't own the home. You're only renting it for a period of time. So that's reason number 4, customizations and personal touches. And reason number 5, sense of community and long-term roots. Now, what do I mean by that? Again, I kind of touched on this on the previous points as well. When you have a sense of community, you know everyone around you. You know everyone in your community, your neighbors that's down the street, the people that your kids play with at the park. Everyone has a sense of community. In fact, I know a number of manufactured home communities here in the Metro Detroit area that they have Facebook pages, and they do different things for each other, whether it's helping someone move, whether it's having a pickup service to pick up people's kids, whether it's grass cutting, whether it's garage sales to help promote that, whether it's birthday parties and they want to invite people in the community. I've seen a host of different things when it comes to different things that people do inside of manufactured home community. So a sense of community is really, really important, and it can be really, really powerful in regards to maybe you need some help on some different areas, not just in your house, but also personally. Having people around you to help you kind of navigate life, I think is awesome. And when we talk about long-term roots, you can stay in a manufactured home as long as you like. I know people that have stayed in the manufactured home community for over 20 years because they love the community. They love their neighbors. They love the amenities. They love the part of town that they stay in, and they know if they ended up moving outside, moving away from a manufactured home community, getting a traditional single family home would just be so expensive. So they get to live in a manufactured home in a great part of town and take advantage of all the great things in that city that person who owns a single family home can take advantage of as well. So those are long-term roots. And we also talk about long-term roots. Again, if you own the home, you can buy your own piece of property and have that home moved and set up long-term roots elsewhere. So you have that option and flexibility when it comes to manufactured home ownership. Again, if you're renting, you don't always have those options to be able to decide if you want to keep the home or move the home. You're renting, that option is not available to you. But when you own the home and you end up paying off the home if you got a mortgage, or if you own the home outright, you have that option available to you. So that's reason number 5, sense of community and long-term roots. Well, that does it for me this week. I hope you enjoyed this week's video as I enjoyed making it. Again, those are the top 5 reasons on why we believe when it comes to manufactured homes, it is always, always, always better to purchase or buy your manufactured home instead of rent. Purchasing your manufactured home is a much more cost-efficient, cost-effective, in terms of a long-term situation. It's just a much better situation overall. Much better to purchase a manufactured home than it is to rent a manufactured home. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Again, please leave a comment in the comment box below. If you have suggestions on future videos that you'd like for us to cover, leave it in the comment box. If you have things that you'd like to share, maybe we missed some things on today's video, leave it in the comment box. If you have comments on last week's video or the weeks before that, leave it in the comment box. We love to engage all of our viewers. Also too, My contact information is in the description box below, and it's also right here. Please reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We want to hear from you, and we want to be of service to you, whether you're deciding to buy, sell, or finance a manufactured home. And finally, please like and subscribe this channel. Here at Manufactured Homes in Michigan, YouTube loves the fact that we're putting out great content, and we want to continue to do that and continue to get out great content to you guys on all things manufactured homes. Also too, we love the fact that you guys are engaging this content, so it motivates us to keep going. So please like and subscribe to the channel. We want to continue to deliver you guys with great information on all things manufactured home. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. But until next time, be blessed, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.